Hi, I'm Joe Talentino and welcome. Thank you for joining us on this magical mystery tour known as I Know Jax. I Know Jax focuses on fun things to do in the greater Jacksonville area, from entertainment to sports, food, nature, travel, and much more. Thanks to our readers at iknowjax.com, we've gathered a group of very active and helpful friends who send us lots of emails with ideas, suggestions, and useful information. Without you guys, I really wouldn't know Jax at all. So as you watch the show tonight and you get an idea for somewhere interesting for us to visit, please share. Shoot me an email or send me a message via Facebook. First up is our Relaxin' Jax segment. Every week we find a fun place to visit and hang out with family and friends. And in this episode, we chose the first Wednesday Art Walk. In the Relaxin' Jax part of our show, we find fun things to do or interesting places to hang out with family and friends. Most of the places we visit are suggested by our website visitors. And sometimes, like today, we will visit at an event. Some of my friends didn't even know we have an art walk in Jacksonville, and others knew about it but had never been. If you ever have family or friends visiting, the first Wednesday Art Walk is one of those events that has something for everyone. And every month there's a theme. And this time, it was Hispanic heritage. Today I got Catherine Hardwick with Downtown Vision here to talk about the Art Walk. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the First Wednesday Art Walk is an event that we've had for 8 years now. It's the first Wednesday of every month from 5 to 9, rain or shine. And we have a collection of venues downtown, from restaurants to galleries to retail. And then, of course, we have Hemming Plaza, and we have just hundreds of artists every month that come out, performing artists, visual artists. It's just a great time.
Now tell us a little bit about the themes. You have different themes throughout the year.
We try to do something to get everybody on board and participating. So tonight we have Hispanic Heritage. It's the 4th year we've been doing this. We'll have a Young Professionals Month. We'll have a Culinary Month. We have months that are dedicated to dance and music and pretty much everything. And we add new themes every year.
What's your favorite part about Art Walk? What's your favorite thing to do?
My favorite thing is that there's something new every month, and it's just a time where everybody gets together, whether they're just, a young 20-something looking to come downtown and enjoy the nightlife, or if it's, a couple with children. There's a lot of family-friendly events too, so something for everyone, and it changes every month.
Out while visiting Art Walk, we stopped in Mocha to talk with our buddy Carl. Carl, tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing here during the Art Walk.
Well, usually during each Art Walk, we try to have some kind of planned activity, either outside or down in our theater, usually reflecting the theme of a particular art walk. We usually get those a couple months in advance and try to do some kind of programmatic thing, either in partnership with another outside organization like the Jacksonville Symphony, or other nonprofit organizations. It's a big night for us. We also try to do some themed menu items in Cafe Nola, or try to also coordinate some merchandising in the Mocha store. It's usually one of our biggest nights. We usually average 2,000 to 3,000 people to come in. It's a free evening for everyone to come up and see whatever the exhibitions are that we have going on at any point during the exhibition cycle. The museum is open Tuesday through Sunday. Sundays are free for families. We're open for free on the first Wednesday of every month, which is Art Walk, which is always a fun night because there's always something here to do. We're one of the central points of Art Walk. We are huge supporters of it, and we always encourage everyone to come downtown to support the arts.
Now I'm sure you're wondering how I can say I know Jax when I haven't said a word about your favorite place to hang out. Now if your favorite place to relax and Jax is really killer, well let me know and maybe we'll have it in a future show. Just visit iknowjax.com. You'll find all the information there about how to submit your suggestions. And while you're there, make sure to sign up for our newsletter and we'll let you know about fun things to do in Jacksonville. Next up, we visit the Fish Company in Atlantic Beach and take a trip to Jekyll Island. Now before we get started up again, I'd like to remind you that I Know Jax is involved in the Rugby League Atlantic Cup that will feature teams from the USA, Australia, and the UK playing on the 19th, 23rd, and 26th. All games will be held at Hodges Stadium at the University of North Florida. Tickets are $5 for the single game entry, or you can purchase tickets for all 3 games for just $10. Full details on the event can be seen at jaxax.com, and for those of you who can't make it to the game, you can watch it live on iknowjax.com. And now, without further ado, our Taste of Jax segment. In Taste of Jax, we try to highlight local restaurants that have great food and offer a unique experience. This week we went to the Fish Company, which is on Atlantic Boulevard, about a half mile before you get to the beach. Today we're with Bill Penner, owner and chef at the Fish Company. How you doing, Bill?
I'm very well, thanks.
Can you tell me a little bit about how the Fish Company got started?
Well, it goes back about 30 years. You know, I grew up in a family of eight children, including myself, and there was always something cooking in the kitchen. My mother loved seafood. She was a good cook. And, you know, after high school and a little bit of college, I moved down to Florida. And how can you not eat seafood in Florida?
No kidding, right?
I just happen to have a talent for putting seafood together, and it's a natural for me.
So what's your specialty?
Well, fresh fish, fresh local fish. We prepare it simply. We usually, you know, cook it on a grill, and we don't slather it in sauces, but put, you know, a good amount of butter on it and all natural, fresh ingredients. And then we also use our local seafood like shrimp and oysters. Our shrimp is one of our biggest sellers, along with, you know, soft-shell crab and scallops we get from a little further north, but they're still, you know, super fresh.
Well, I know you also have specials on oysters a couple of days a week too, right?
On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we shovel them out for $4 a dozen. And,
that's crazy.
And, yeah, we go crazy. You know, the most we've ever done is like 750 in a night. And
it's a lot of work for
that's
you guys.
A lot of work, and those guys back there are just, they can really use a break after 8 hours
no
or
doubt.
So. Their wrists are swollen.
No carpal tunnel there.
Don't call OSHA on me, but we do give them a break and lots of ice water after their shift. So.
Now, as luck would have it, we were at the Fish Company when they had their oyster night. Now, I have had raw oysters before, but never had them steamed. Luckily for me, I found a couple of regulars to show me the proper technique for shucking and eating this delicacy.
We like to shuck them. We don't like them raw, and we like to shuck our own oysters. Awesome. That's the way you do it. Pop them open, make it happen. Yes, indeed. Look at there. This is the way you make it happen.
Today I'm visiting Jekyll Island, Georgia, and while I was there, they were celebrating the Shrimp and Grits Festival, which combines 2 southern favorites, shrimp and grits. Duh! The festival takes place in the historic district during the Georgia Wild Shrimp month of September. I was visiting the day when the professional chefs had their big cook-off. Competition is fierce, and making shrimp and grits on this level is serious business.
Already got Mountain Dew for you too. All right. Oh. Oh, no secrets here. We're all out in the open.
I figured I better let the chefs concentrate on the business at hand, so while they were busy finishing up, I decided to explore the festival area. The festival offers a mixed bag of activities for the whole family, from cooking demonstrations with celebrity chefs to a birds of prey demonstration and live music on stage. And as we say, much, much more. No festival is complete without kettle corn. I met Ken, who had built his own instrument he calls Ken's Pick Stick. It actually sounded pretty good when Ken played it. There was no way I could pass up the hot sauce. I just had to have a taste. Just look at those beautiful dishes. While we waited for the judges to pick the winner, the chefs got ready for the consumer panel. And in case you were wondering, yes, I made sure to get some shrimp and grits too. Next up was the Shrimp Peel and Eat contest. Last year's champion was going to try to defend her title against contestants from as far away as New York. Do they have wild Georgia shrimp up there? Now he was actually doing pretty well, but nothing was going to make her relinquish her title. Finally, it was time to announce this year's Shrimp and Grits winner. How about that? I picked the winner as my favorite. I'm telling you, I should be a judge. I mean, do I know how to pick a winner or what? I guess that's going to do it for the Shrimp and Grits Festival on Jekyll Island. Maybe we will see you next year. Next up, we visit Latitude Laughs comedian Danny Johnson and check out our latest giveaways. Here at I Know Jax, we try to do our part to give back to the community we live in, so let me tell you about a couple of nonprofits we're involved in. You may have seen these billboards around town. They are to bring awareness to the need for AEDs or automated external defibrillators to our schools. 16 kids a day die from sudden cardiac death. And if AEDs were available, the survival rate for those kids is up to 90%. So what I want you to do is go to aedpetitionnow.com and join the fight to get an AED in every public school by 2014. The second nonprofit is the Right Whale Festival. With a little over 300 right whales left in the wild, this endangered species needs all of our support. The third annual Right Whale Festival is being held next Saturday, November 19th at Seawalk Pavilion, Jacksonville Beach. This one-day, family-oriented festival will feature children's activities, music, beach cleanup, and other activities geared towards informing and inspiring the community about right whales, their habitat, and conservation needs. In today's entertainment segment, we're visiting Jacksonville's newest comedy club. It's Latitude Laughs. found inside the Latitude 30 Entertainment Complex.
Get right, and the phone's right here, and the phone rings. Like, oh my God, I can't get out.
One of my favorite parts is they scan a big baseball field, and there's a whole family in the stands watching their kid playing softball or baseball, and they're all wearing the Snuggies. It looks like a rogue pack of monks escaped from the...
So I'm here with Danny Johnson, comedian. Tell me a little bit about your show here at Latitude 30.
Well, you saw it. It was wonderfully hilarious.
It was, actually.
This is a great place to perform. I got my start here locally, so I like performing in all the local venues here. You got a couple of great spots for comedy, and it was a little odd. I think there was a birthday party here that was enjoying.
Very interactive audience, we'll say.
They were speaking out loud during a live show, which I don't know if they thought I was recorded or but I was live.
You were an animatronic at like Chuck E. Cheese or something?
Yeah, they thought it was Chuck E. Cheese and they could participate. But I love what I do up there. I love making people laugh, and I like them to laugh and not talk while I'm talking.
How long have you been doing this?
98 is when I got my start. I got my start here locally at 98, and it was on a whim, just kind of went. I always wrote stuff, and I used to do sketches, reenact Saturday Night Live sketches with my friends when I lived.
Good material.
Yeah, I loved it. All the old Saturday Night Live stuff, and just started doing comedy and telling jokes and making people laugh. And then I spent a couple of years just bombing and retuning and becoming a better comic, and eventually comedians started taking me on the road with them.
Very cool.
And then now I've made it to a headliner status.
Full time. That's your gig.
I love it. I can't wait to get up there. I want the other guy off so I can go on, even though they're good.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Most of them anyway. Yeah.
They are. They're all good. I have respect for all people that get up there and pour themselves out and do what they do.
Well, that's something I was going to ask you about. I mean, how long does it take you to hone a show? I mean.
Wow.
'Cause that takes a lot of bombing, I guess, before you get there. I mean, it's like every other business, right?
If I look at some of my favorite pieces in my show, probably years and years to fine-tune the timing, the writing, the punchlines, the taglines to a certain chunk of material. Some comedians are topical, so they have to churn that material over a little more.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't do topical or political humor. It's about my family, and so I kind of just try to make it. Here's my life thus far.
Right.
Up through being single to married and kids, and but it takes a long time for a joke to be the way I want it to be.
Well, and there's something else about your show that's pretty special because it's clean. I mean, you do a completely clean show.
Yeah.
What possessed you?
Wouldn't that be funny if I just started cursing right now?
Well, go
just
for
violently
it. I mean, we'll
cursing?
bleep it all out, but go right for it.
I think it's my idols are Seinfeld. Kevin James is funny to me. It's just a clean.
Well, you've been compared to those guys as well, so that's
an
gonna
honor.
be a big compliment. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. That's
Jackie Gleason, I even heard tossed out there.
Maybe the faces. I don't know. But I enjoy that challenge of being clean. I mean, there's not a whole lot of, I'm all for a well-placed vulgarity. Not in my show, but I watch other comedians. But some, you don't need it all the time.
Right.
I don't use it at all. So
it's not a crutch.
And it's helped me. I do corporate work. I do.
Right.
I'd love to get into churches and do
private stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that than some of the clubs with the hecklers and the. If you think about comedy, you're going into
you don't deal with drunks in the church, hopefully.
Right. If you think about comedy, you're going into a room full of strangers who consume large amounts of alcohol, and you have to make them laugh for an hour.
Yeah.
So
preferably.
Hopefully.
That's the whole idea.
And you can't tickle them or anything like that.
Yeah.
You could try.
Yeah.
But
no laugh track.
no laugh track. That would be awkward.
Yeah, that would be weird.
Especially if you had the button
and the
up
timing
on stage
was off.
and you pressed it.
The timing was off a little bit. So, what's your future? What is it you're looking to do
The
now?
future?
Yeah, tell me about the future.
Well, we're going to have flying cars.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sign
And
me up.
jetpacks. I don't know. I kind of want to just make people laugh.
So the present is the future for you.
Present is the future. I enjoy what I do, and I really want to get into more of the private stuff, private corporate stuff, so I can really appreciate the clean show.
Right.
And pay more.
You want to be appreciated?
So,
and you're a comedian.
Right. I really just want to be able to do comedy. I'd love the idea of telling jokes for a living.
Okay, so what would our show be without some cool events and giveaways? The guys over at my904.com are promoting a couple of unique events. The first one is to Turn Me Up Glow Party hosted by Selena Lena. And the second one, it really got my attention, and that was lingerie football in Orlando, Florida. Now these dudes aren't playing around. They're also giving away 5 sets of 2 tickets to sneak preview of the upcoming Martin Scorsese film, Hugo. Those tickets go to the first 5 people that message me on Facebook at facebook.com/I Know Jax. So check out my904.com and be part of the You're What's Happening Society. Now, while we're speaking of giveaways, I met this really cool up-and-coming heavy metal band last week at the premiere party for our show called Lawless Hearts. And it turns out they're going to be the opening act for Tantric at Brewster's Pit on the 20th. And the 20th is my birthday. So the guys in the band offered up 2 tickets to the show for me to give away to our fans. So be the first to hit me up on Facebook and the tickets are yours. And we can enjoy the show together because I plan on being there too. Remember, if you have ideas about stories we should do on the show, you can submit your suggestions on the website. That wraps up this episode of I Know Jax. I'll be back next week, and until then, I'll see you on the internet.